Hello and welcome back to the Pink Floyd album ranking saga that I am doing. So in this episode we are on number 14 out of 15 one. As you know, we're starting at the bottom, going least favorite to favorite. So in the number 14 spot, and I think that this placement, see, Ummagumma was kind of one of those ones where it's like, okay, a lot of people really don't like that album. This particular album, I think there's going to be a lot of people that say, wow, you should have put that album higher. Maybe not number 1, but maybe 4 or 5, not 14. And I think there's going to be some people that say, yeah, good choice. So number 14 for my second least favorite Pink Floyd album. Again, they're all amazing, but I have to pick one. In 14th place, we have The Division Bell, as you saw by the title. As you can see by this piece of computer paper here, I don't have a vinyl copy of The Division Bell, nor do I have any physical copy of it, because I don't collect CDs, and if I can't get it on vinyl, I'd rather just listen to it off of YouTube, honestly, or, music source download. Aside from the fact that when this album came out, vinyls were already very hard to come by, so ironically, I just thought about it too. Number 14th place would be Pink Floyd's 14th studio album. That's funny. The Division Bell. This album came out in 1994, so very far past the prime famous part of Pink Floyd. This is far past Roger's era. Roger is long gone by this point. This is the trio of Gilmour, Wright, and Mason era. Now, pardon me, I have my laptop here because I'm reading some stuff off of it here, some notes. So, why is this album so low for me? Well, this is a really good album, and I think it is very, very, how should I put it? I almost see it as like, it's hard to describe this album. It's kind of like, so you have A Momentary Lapse of Reason, which was the first Gilmour album. Then you have this, which is kind of like an evolution almost of A Momentary Lapse of Reason. It's kind of like, okay, you have this sound and now it's expanded. And when you listen to the music on this album, it's very different from really anything that Pink Floyd had done. It's very almost poppy, very 80s, 90s, not really new wave, but more electronic sounding, not like OMD, but slow, beautiful, calming, relaxing music. And I think that's really where The Division Bell shines, is if you want some music to just relax to, you don't have to really think about it, you can listen to it and then not listen to 2 minutes and then come back and it really still captures your attention. The Division Bell is really good for that. Now, the songs on here, a lot of the songs on this album, I really don't have a lot of opinions for. So, like, for example, first track, Cluster 1, very beautiful, relaxing track. But it doesn't really have anything to it, in my opinion. It's beautiful, but it's nothing that makes me say, wow, this is the best I've ever heard. Okay, then you have What Do You Want From Me? Which, again, great track, but it just really doesn't do anything for me. It's great, but it just doesn't capture me in there. It doesn't captivate me. Then you have Poles Apart. Poles Apart is another beautiful song, but again, it's the same thing where it's just this very specific sound that doesn't really do anything for me, okay? Then you have Marooned, which I think seems like a fan favorite off that album. And granted, it has some great guitar playing. But again, it just isn't it for me. I keep saying it, okay? A Great Day for Freedom is the next track. Again, it's a good song. I think you're getting tired of hearing me say it. I just don't really get it. Now, one song on this album I do really like is Wearing the Inside Out, which is track 6. Wearing the Inside Out is an awesome song. Okay, that is one song I will give to the Division Bell fans. That is an awesome song, okay? Take It Back is the next track. Again, I don't really have an opinion on it. It's good. That's about it. Track 8 would be Coming Back to Life. Honestly, not really my type of song. It's fine, but I just don't care for it. Keep Talking, which is the next one. This is actually another one, kind of like Wearing the Inside Out. I do really like this song. This is actually a pretty, pretty badass song, if I do say so myself. Two more tracks. Lost for Words is track 10. Lost for Words, great song, beautiful song. Again, I don't have much to say about it, but of course the last track on the album is High Hopes, and I think that that is a phenomenal ending to this album. Now, I want to make one thing clear. I'm going to close this now because I don't really think I'm going to need it much anymore after reading off the track listing. Is that I want to make it clear that in these videos, I'm not just going to go through and list if I like the track or not. The problem with the Division Bell for me is another issue for it is that I am not as familiar with sound. I know it, I'd recognize a song from it, but it's not that recognizable to me. I mean, I get it, I would know it, but it's not like I could go, oh, Take It Back. Yeah, let me walk you through every bar of that song. No. I didn't even start listening to that album until probably I was 16, maybe. Not that long ago. I'm almost 20 now, but, long ago, grand scheme of things. It does have its good songs. Like I said, Take It Back, not Take It Back. Wearing the Inside Out, High Hopes, those are all good songs. The reason why this is number 14 for me is because, honestly, it just lacks an identity. It really is a beautiful collection of songs, but it's so just compared to the other Pink Floyd stuff. And I am not hating on Gilmour. This is not a Gilmour hate session. I love David Gilmour. I love Roger Waters, but I love David Gilmour too. And Rick Wright. And Nick, I love all of them. And Syd Barrett, of course. But the problem with this album and why I consider it 14 is because it really does just kind of lack its identity in the other lineup of Pink Floyd albums. And the other reason I think that this album gets kind of pushed down upon, again, it was released in 1994, okay? Keep in mind that 2 years before this was when Nirvana's Nevermind was released, okay? You're in the grunge era, and then you have this. Now, I will give the Division Bell one thing. I have a lot of, I'm Generation Z, I'm going to be 20 next year, but I have a lot of people I know of who are my parents' age, Gen X, who saw Pink Floyd on the Division Bell tour in the early 90s, even the Momentary Lapse of Reason tour, and I have heard time and time again that the Division Bell concert is the best concert they've ever seen, 100% hands down. And I would tend to agree from the footage I've seen. David Gilmour puts on a phenomenal show. With Pink Floyd or solo, he is a phenomenal performer. But this isn't going to be as long as the Ummagumma video, and it's probably not going to be as long as the future ones, because again, I really don't have much to say about this album. I would totally listen to it over Ummagumma because it's a very peaceful experience, but it's not like I'm sitting there like, ooh, I love the next song, I'm waiting for the next song, oh, I love this song. No. I could put this song on in the background of really any situation, any car ride, and it would be perfect background music, but it's not like, I don't know, Dark Side or Animals or Wish You Were Here or even like Piper, where you really want to pay attention to it. Again, beautiful, even like Momentary Lapse of Reason for that matter, beautiful, but just kind of lacks an identity for me. So that is the reason why this album, The Division Bell, is number 14, is because it's a beautiful album, but just doesn't do it anything for me. Granted, this album sold very well. In fact, it was a #1 album all over the world, kind of unlike the Final Cut was. But no, I'm just crapping on Roger Waters because I think it's funny that, oh, well, Pink Floyd will be nothing without me. David Gilmour proceeds to release this album in a Momentary Lapse of Reason, and they go in the charts. It's just funny to me. So, of course, this is also the last album to feature Rick Wright alive, because Endless River features his, recordings and stuff. But yeah, so I think that's going to wrap it up for episode 14, episode 2 here of the Pink Floyd saga. That would be the Division Bell. Subscribe, like, and check out Isaac24.com, and stay tuned for lucky number 13. Bye-bye.